Tonight, one step closer to herd immunity. After opening up vaccines to all Minnesota adults, that's the goal the governor is striving for. Plus, a time for change. That's what one local organization is calling for after new data from the Duluth Police Department. And later, it's the blame game at the southern border as Democrats and Republicans visit holding facilities that show a dire situation for migrant children.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Vaki. Thanks for joining us. Big news out of Minnesota today about vaccine eligibility. We will get to that in a moment, but first let's check in with the surrounding states. The Wisconsin Department of Health Services is reporting the first case of a third variant strain, the P1, which came out of Brazil. DHS just launched a web page specifically tracking variant cases in our state. Currently, 78 UK variant cases have been identified in Wisconsin and 2 South African variant cases. It's important to remember that's just a fraction of the variant cases likely out there because only a small percent of coronavirus samples go through genome testing.
We know that these variants are particularly infectious, and we're seeing in other places younger people suffering from higher levels of infection. And so we are watching the number of cases very, very closely.
Public Health Madison-Dane County data analysts are tracking variant cases as well. COVID-19 cases are surging in Michigan. Today, reports show more than 5,000 new cases and 20 more deaths in the state. Michigan health officials say kids are to blame for that rise in cases. Right now, cases are growing faster at a rate among middle and high school age children than anyone else in Michigan. In the last month, cases in people 10 to 19 have more than doubled to about 335 positive tests per day. Governor Gretchen Whitmer stated this is why she waited so long to re-engage children's sports.
The re-engagement of children's sports and indoor dining, we knew that with that came some risk. That's why we didn't do it for so long.
Pfizer and Moderna have both kicked off trials for COVID-19 vaccines in children, including new trials testing Pfizer's vaccine for both children under 12 and in infants. Health officials say that's an important step because the ability to vaccinate children is crucial to ending the pandemic and achieving herd immunity. Every Minnesotan 16 and older will be eligible for a COVID vaccine. Governor Tim Walz made that announcement this morning. Here in the Northland, county health departments are preparing for that major increase in eligibility. CBS 3's Emma Quinn spoke with St. Louis and Carleton County health officials about why they are preparing for Tuesday.
As COVID vaccine eligibility expands to those 16 and up next week, county health officials are getting ready for an influx of recipients.
It just shows the really great work that's been happening across the state with all the different provider types.
The public health director for St. Louis County, Amy Westbrook, says the county will still be prioritizing those with chronic health conditions and frontline workers for vaccinations, but encourage younger people to sign up for wait lists.
Having some slots open, so this will certainly give us the flexibility to be able to offer vaccine to others outside of the current eligible groups.
In Carleton County, clinics have the Moderna vaccine on hand, which is only approved for those 18 years older. The county, however, is making plans to have other options available.
So we are going to work alongside our other providers in the community who are able to offer Pfizer or getting Pfizer to administer to be able to share that with the schools so that we can vaccinate those who are between that 16 and 18 age.
In northern St. Louis County, where we've seen several recent COVID outbreaks, health officials are hopeful expanding vaccine eligibility can help curb the spread.
Which is concerning. We want to make sure that we're not allowing the variants to circulate. We don't want to see community transmission go up.
Both counties say they anticipate there being more demand for vaccines than supply allows for.
For more information on vaccine eligibility, you can head to our website, cbs3duluth.com. Well, Dave is here for our first check of the weather as we head into the weekend. Sounds like some snow for some folks coming tomorrow.
Yeah, and since we last spoke, the National Weather Service has decided to put into effect a winter weather advisory for a good portion of the Minnesota Arrowhead. That's where the snow chance is the best and where the snow totals could be the highest. So for northern St. Louis County, northern Lake, northern Cook County, winter weather advisory could stay in effect until Saturday, 4 o'clock. Again, that's the zone where I think 1 to 3 inches of snow could fall, but if it pushed it to 4, I wouldn't be overly surprised. So the low pressure system coming our way from the west is right now bringing most of its precip in the form of rain to central parts of Minnesota, but we do have a little snow up north of the Twin Cities, and that's part of the ticket to ride for snow for our region that could last through tomorrow night. Our short-term forecast says then 50% chance after midnight some of that precip gets here, turns into an 80% chance through Saturday, and the high temp will get up to 40 degrees, pretty close to normal. But warmer than normal could start to infiltrate the region Sunday. Will it last much longer than that? We'll talk about it with the 7-day forecast in a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. New numbers released by the Duluth Police Department show the department is disproportionately targeting minorities. Now the Duluth NAACP says it's time for change. CBS 3's Natalie Grant shares their demands to the department and how its leader is responding.
On the steps of Duluth City Hall Friday, members of Duluth's NAACP highlighted an ugly national problem now found in their own community.
We call for answers, but we demand action.
NAACP members say new data shows the department disproportionately targeted minorities for arrests, use of force, jail, and school discipline.
The data shows that African American and Native American residents account for 34% and 13% of all use of force incidents in 2019, while only making up 2.3% and 1.8% of the Duluth population, respectively.
The group is demanding the department fix the problem. They want data released each year, holding the department accountable if nothing changes.
By December of 2020, we expect DPD use of force rates and arrest rates to be proportionate to the racial demographics of our region.
Duluth Police Chief Mike Tuskin and Mayor Emily Larson responded to the concerns, saying that they are ready and willing to work towards resolving the issue. Chief Tuskin claims transparency is a core value of the organization and says they'll provide any data needed.
As many of you know, we've worked with community before to build policies together, and this will be an opportunity for us to work together and improve how we police and our social contract we have with this community.
Mayor Larson says the concerns are valid, especially as many communities work towards equitable policing.
People asking these questions feels really correct to me. It feels really accurate. We should want to know this information, this data. We should be asking these questions, especially now as it relates to public safety.
The NAACP says this isn't a problem happening somewhere else, and the solution has to start at home.
Nearly 1 year after the murder of George Floyd, it is time to stand here and finally say that policing in Duluth is racially discriminatory.
Mayor Larson and Chief Tuskin say a new city data reporting system will help provide the information the NAACP wants. They say this is the first of many meetings they'll be having to ensure change happens. The southern border crisis came to a political boil today as dueling delegations of Republican and Democratic lawmakers toured holding facilities and pointed fingers over the conditions they saw. CBS News correspondent Deborah Alfarone has more from the White House.
A Republican delegation visiting a migrant facility along the U.S.-Mexico border captured images of these disturbing conditions.
We saw cages after cages after cages of little girls, of little boys, lying side by side, touching each other. We also saw a group of children who just today tested positive for COVID-19.
Texas Senator Ted Cruz, who led the group, said the holding facility in Donna, Texas, is reporting roughly a 10% positivity rate in COVID testing.
This is inhumane, it is wrong, and it is the direct consequence of policy decisions by the Biden administration to stop building the wall, to return to catch and release, and to end the stay in Mexico policy.
The visit comes a day after President Biden said he won't apologize for his administration's handling of what some are calling a migrant crisis at the border.
Rolling back the policies of separating children from their mothers, I make no apology for that.
Representative Joaquin Castro led a Democratic delegation to a separate Texas facility for unaccompanied children and pointed blame at the Trump administration.
President Biden inherited a situation where the previous administration had sought to dismantle the infrastructure for processing asylum seekers and settling asylum seekers in the United States.
President Biden suggested the migrant influx stems from conditions in their home countries, as well as a seasonal surge that comes with cooler weather. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, the White House.
There were approximately 18,000 unaccompanied migrant children in U.S. federal custody as of this morning. That's according to government figures released this afternoon. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, as the pandemic continues, having access to a good internet connection is proving essential. Why Governor Tony Evers is investing in broadband next.
After a long dry spell, now for the month of March at least, we're an inch over normal for rainfall totals. But we can probably bank a little more, and a little more is what we might get tonight and tomorrow as our fresh low pressure system crosses our threshold. We'll talk about how long it'll stick around and what's to follow coming up after our break.
Local news and local weather here on CBS 3.
Hurry into Home Furniture for the final 3 days to get zero-interest financing for 6 years. Everything is on sale. Plus, get free no-contact shipping. Shop in-store or online. Zero-interest financing for 6 years ends Sunday at Home Furniture.
New Duluth Auto is the Duluth used car dealer. We have plenty of makes and models to choose from. Nissan, Honda, Toyota, and we even carry multiple options for our most popular vehicle, the Subaru Forester. Large cargo space, all-wheel drive. What's not to love? All of our vehicles are priced under $20,000. To make these deals even sweeter, there is a 1 to 5 year warranty included on all vehicles. Give us a call, stop by, or view our inventory online at newduluthauto.net. Because here at New Duluth Auto, we are your Duluth used car dealer.
Buying your first home is the start of realizing bigger dreams with your family. That's why it's important to protect everything you love with American Family Insurance. Wait, what's that?
It's their dream car.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's actually my dream car. And my little dream tire swing with some dream trees. There'll be a nice dream garden right here, too.
Protect your dream home with American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
You got the gear, but do you have the internet to power it? Go full speed. Get extreme internet starting at $19.99 a month for a year. Show your tech some respect and see what it can really do with speeds from 60 meg up to 1 gig, powerful in-home Wi-Fi, and 99.99% network reliability. Get extreme internet starting at $19.99 a month for a year and get ready to go full speed. Dial 844-EXTREME2.
What are you doing? Don't you even know how to dump your trash? Poop fairy? It's no poop fairy. And I'm more than dog poop and parks. I care about everything that hits our streams and lakes, including your overflowing garbage. Your trash starts here and ends here.
Hey, that goes right to the water.
Learn a poop ton more online.
Now at Home Sleep Express, you can test and buy a famous Purple mattress and get 0% interest financing for 6 years. Purple's patented science makes for cooler and more comfortable sleep. Get free delivery, setup, and a 120-day guarantee. The famous Purple mattress, now at Home Sleep Express.
Join us weeknights for Live at 5 as we go around the Northland, city by city.
Now, the CBS3 Duluth Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
So earlier tonight, I got caught napping here at the pod trying to investigate this storm system that hit us back in 1975, getting the facts so I could show them to you here now. And boy, 1975 was a wicked winter. We had 3 blizzards. The first one came around Super Bowl time, the second one around March 24th, and then the third one here, Blizzard 3, happened March 26th to 29th. It lasted 3 days. And it brought 100-mile-an-hour winds, 20-foot seas on Lake Superior, 12-plus inches of snow. Well, things are going to be much gentler tonight and tomorrow. We have the chance for maybe 1 to 3, perhaps 4 inches of snow for part of our region, maybe just a trace to an inch for the rest. So as we depart March, maybe we're going out a little more lion-like than we came in. The month did come in like a lamb. April, well, like all weather phenomenon, that's up in the air at this stage of the game. Well, we take a look now at the current conditions from the airport in Duluth. It's 29. Relative humidity is 89%. East winds 9 miles per hour, and the air pressure 30.08 inches of mercury. And easing into the current temperatures here, they're really not so bad for this time in March. 25 to 26, big range there in the Upper Peninsula. A little bit cooler in Ironwood, warmer to the south. Wisconsin numbers. At this hour, they're going from 27 in Ashland to 31 at Superior, and 27 from Hayward to 30 in Solon Springs. Northern Minnesota up the North Shore, we're looking at about 28 degrees for a lot of our towns, and into east central Minnesota and a little bit of points north there from Cloquet, 27. We go to 32 towards Moose Lake and Willow River. Iron Range numbers are hovering around 30 roughly, at least on the eastern and middle part of that location. As warm as 35 currently towards Grand Rapids and Deer River, and 35 right now International Falls. Current situation with a low pressure system bearing down upon us here. Clouds are going up and precip chances are going up right now, especially in western Minnesota, according to the charts. You can see in practice here, though, that this first wave of precip is fading away, running into drier air and evaporating. So down to the south of Brainerd, north of St. Cloud, that little blip of precip has got a better chance of coming our way after midnight tonight, 50-50 chance, and then it's an 80% chance tomorrow as the cold front portion of the low does cut across our atmosphere, lift it up, and crank out that chance for the snow. That should be gone by Sunday morning. Then higher pressure settles in to dry us up, warm us back towards the 40s for Sunday, and maybe even towards 60 on Monday. But between now and then, of course, we may have to deal with snow like this, 1 to 3 for the Arrowhead, and a trace to an inch for the rest. Tonight, Minnesota, your low temps with that snow chance, about 30 degrees, we'll say. For Wisconsin, 27 to 30. And into Wisconsin and Michigan tomorrow, 41 to 47 with the chance for that mix, 90%. Minnesota, 80% chance for the mix, 38 to 42. And then, with the extended forecast, if you're tired of winter, this latest go-around will go away by Sunday, and it gets sunnier. 45 Sunday, 60 on Monday. That staggers me. And then it cools down as early as Tuesday, Wednesday, back into the 30s, at least for a little while.
All right, thanks, Dave. Governor Evers declared 2021 as the year of broadband internet, and his budget asks for $200 million in state investment. Rhonda Fox explains how one rural Wisconsin community is affected by poor internet access.
Broadband, especially for rural areas, is almost it's as important as having a telephone or electricity.
Governor Evers met with Shawano County officials to discuss their concerns and issues with inadequate internet access in rural areas.
And even now, where you can sign up on the website, on the county website, to get your vaccination in the rural community, it's tough.
Wisconsin is behind. I think we're ranked 36th out of the 50 states as far as getting our rural parts of the state connected to high-speed internet services.
This health crisis has shown us that as the world becomes more digital, the internet is critical, and connecting rural communities will be a huge undertaking.
It's kind of like building out the roads or the electric system from previous centuries. This is the infrastructure of the future.
Even 1 year into this pandemic, officials say the need to access the internet is unquestionably essential.
The pandemic certainly highlighted the needs. I mean, no question about it. And I think going forward, you know, some of those activities, obviously, kids going back to school, some of that will go back. But some things are going to be changed.
For now, school kids miles away from downtown Shawano struggle with poor internet access.
In the rural community, what we discovered is last April, when we were home with the broadband and we had 2 kids trying to get access, we couldn't. It was just too much for what was available.
Farmers, businesses having access in the way that our people in the city may have access to already, and really leveling that playing field is critically important for our state.
The Wisconsin Public Service Commission has given out more than 260 broadband extension grants in the past 8 years. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, a brutal storm struck the southeast, leaving 6 people dead. We'll have the latest on the damage coming up.
CBS 3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
Honey, what are you doing?
Carpet's getting a little long. Tripping hazard.
It's okay to be a little overprotective.
Seriously?
After all, it's how we feel about our customers. Western National Insurance.
Winter is full of surprises, but you'll be ready with a Ford Escape. Because with up to $5,000 total cash, now is the perfect time to get behind the wheel. Chilly mornings? You've got remote start. Freezing temperatures? Forget about them with heated seats. But hurry, your chance to save big and see for yourself how the Ford Escape is built for weather ends soon. For a limited time, get up to $5,000 total cash on an Escape. Only at your Northland Ford dealers.
Funerals can be emotionally devastating for a family to go through. Besides the sorrow, loved ones are left with the high cost of arranging a funeral. Funeral Advantage was formed to help protect your family when they need it most. It pays your loved ones up to $20,000 immediately for funeral and any other expenses.
It's a good feeling to know that my family will be taken care of if anything happens to me.
Funerals can easily cost $9,000 or more, but government benefits pay only $255, leaving your loved ones to pay the rest.
It's so easy. Just answer a few simple health questions. This is so affordable, even for someone like me who's on a fixed income.
If you're 40 to 85, get information on how to protect your family. Funeral Advantage is something we all need. There's no risk or obligation. Call now.
Get the facts about how easy it is to protect your family. There's no risk or obligation. Don't wait. Call the number on your screen now.
Kevin Bacon here. You know me from 6 Degrees of, well, me. But it's time to expand. See, Visible is wireless with no surprise fees, legit unlimited data, powered by Verizon for as little as $25 a month. But when you bring a friend every month, you get every month for $5. So I'm bringing everyone within 12 degrees of me. Bam! 12 months of $5 wireless. Visible, as little as $25 a month or $5 a month when you bring a friend. Powered by Verizon. Wireless that gets better with friends.
Be a little bit brave. Don't ever be afraid to.
Got a couple questions.
Do you think it's time for schools to reopen?
We are still talking about this story, and rightfully so.
March is Women's History Month, and all throughout the month on CBS 3 this morning, we'll be highlighting women in history who have made a difference. So be sure to tune in every morning at 5 a.m.
Watch Caitlin and Jenna in the morning at 5 and 6 a.m.
COVID-19 vaccines are bringing hope and questions. This is why we're bringing understanding to the challenge of vaccinating America. Ongoing coverage on CBS News.
At least 6 people are dead after severe storms tore through the South. The damage stretches for hundreds of miles across multiple states, and more bad weather is in the forecast. The National Weather Service says multiple tornadoes appear to have struck the southeast U.S., including a powerful twister with winds over 111 miles an hour. Those tornadoes left behind extensive damage, including dozens of homes reduced to rubble and lives lost. People in Tennessee, Georgia, and Alabama are picking up the mess and sorting through what's left of their homes.
I've never experienced a storm before in my life this bad, and I did hear it sounded like a train coming. We bunkered down, we prayed to our heavens, missed us by 6 feet, and we're here with God's grace.
Thousands of people in those areas are still without power. Coming up in sports, Duluth Marshall hoping to rewrite history by heading back to state. Kelly has the highlights next.
Get local vaccine information all at CBS3Duluth.com.
Hurry into Home Furniture for the final 3 days to get zero-interest financing for 6 years. Everything is on sale. Plus, get free no-contact shipping. Shop in-store or online. Zero-interest financing for 6 years and Sunday at Home Furniture.
As a person with a disability who values living independently and being safe,
it's great to know
Access North has partnered with the Minnesota Department of Health to be a COVID community coordinator.
Please help us protect people with disabilities and other vulnerable Minnesotans of all ages from COVID-19.
Contact Access North Center for Independent Living, your local COVID community coordinator resource for people with disabilities.
You'll love the road ahead when you drive the 2021 Subaru Impreza. Standard EyeSight driver assist technology gives you an extra set of eyes on the road to help keep the journey safe. And the Impreza is a smart choice down the road. The 2021 Impreza. More than a car, it's a Subaru.
Lease the new 2021 Subaru Impreza for $219 a month during the Subaru A Lot to Love event going on now.
At UCare, we have something to say to all our members, new and old. Thanks for choosing UCare, giving us more reasons to keep moving forward and doing what we do best, answering questions and helping members make the most of their plan benefits. Because we're simplifiers, decomplicators, and, well, figure-outers. Call or go online. We're here for you. Hey, we're always around somewhere.
Couple questions.
Do you think it's time for schools to reopen?
There is some positive breaking news.
We've got a lot of important new information for you and your family.
Everything that happens on a day-to-day basis in terms of news, no matter what happens in news, weather is always constant, weather is always changing as well. So it's still an important role as the meteorologist to kind of still stay grounded and to kind of just know that role and what to take and kind of just make sure you're delivering what's the most important for your viewers. But then also I like to touch base on the national things. All of those news stories also tie in with weather stories because they do go kind of hand in hand.
Watch Jenna and Caitlin in the morning at 5 and 6 a.m.
Home Seasonal Concepts is now open with the largest selection of outdoor furniture on sale. Plus, get a free fabric upgrade on custom or special order cushions and slings from Homecrest Outdoor Living and Tropitone. And free no-contact garage drop shipping. Now at Home Seasonal Concepts.
Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
Last year at this time, Duluth Marshall girls basketball was one of the many stories that kind of just broke your heart. The team won their first state tournament game in a come-from-behind victory and were poised to make the run into the championship, but COVID put a halt on any chance of that happening. So you could say this was a game the Hilltoppers were waiting for. The Section 7 AA championship. ESCO looking to spoil that for them, though. Second half, Hilltoppers came into the latter half with a 16-point lead. Gianna Nipkin's shot is off the rim, but Layla Monroe is there for the putback. That'd be the last we'd see from the Hilltoppers. In the final 5 minutes, ESCO pushed back. Brenna Stark cuts the lead to single digits. More of the same. Ayla Gable cuts through traffic, and the Eskimos came as close as 6, but they were forced to send the Toppers to the line, and they don't fail there. Monroe ices it with 0.7 seconds to go, and the Toppers are back to state, 63-52, the final.
From the jump, we kind of knew it was going to be a defensive battle. I told the girls if we can hold them to under 55 points, we'll win. Basketball is about runs. ESCO made a big run in the second half. And, we just had to gather ourselves. The moment hit, and we came together, and we ended up winning the game.
We knew going into the game it was going to be a defensive battle because they don't have a super fast offense, so we had to make sure they weren't just getting wide open layups, because if they did, they would just slow it down, and we wouldn't be able to get at our speed. We needed to stay composed, because if we rushed, things wouldn't go right. So that's what I think our key was, just like locking in on defense and staying composed was the biggest thing.
Marshall will await their first-round opponent in the state tournament. And we should note, Deer River is heading to their first-ever state tournament with a win over Nashua-Keewatin on the boys' side of their bracket. And here's where the sportscast takes an unexpected turn. Over in Superior, there was a football game tonight. Since they pushed their season back this fall, the Spartans had to wait until late March to get out on the gridiron, and at long last, they welcomed Eau Claire North to town tonight. The Spartans holding a moment of unity before the national anthem, and then it was time for football. The very first play from scrimmage tonight, Caden Kimmis looking long, and there's Jake Edwards the 6'3" senior, good for 35 yards, which led to this. Carter Fonger gets the pylon, and Superior takes a 6-0 lead. The rest of the way was all Spartans. Jordan Goldfine leaping into the end zone, and the very next play after that, Ben Hunter would pick off Kyle Greenland, which led to a Carter Fonger touchdown run. Superior goes on to win it handily, 38-6, the final. And in NCAA hockey, the Bulldogs are officially moving on to the round of 8 at the tourney, but not the way that they or anyone expected. Their game against Michigan never happened this afternoon. A member of the Michigan Wolverines Tier 1 testing group of coaches and players tested positive for COVID-19, so the game was officially listed as a no contest. The Bulldogs advanced to the round of 8 for the 6th consecutive season. So what's next is as follows. UMD will play tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. against North Dakota, who beat American International 4-0. That game will be broadcast on ESPNU. The Proctor Hermantown Mirage have been the best girls hockey team in the Northland all season long. They're undefeated Section 7A champs and are averaging over 7 goals a game. They were at the X this afternoon to open up the state tournament against Laverne. It was a scoreless game until the closing minutes of the first period. Alyssa Watkins turns on the Jets, beats the goalie around the back of the net to make it 1-0 after a period, and definitely wasn't the last Laverne would hear from her. Izzy Fairchild finds Watkins in front just 14 seconds into the second period, and it's 2-0 Proctor Hermantown, which burst open the floodgates. Watkins is the only Mirage player in the offensive zone. She has the puck, and she puts it away. She was having one of those kinds of games this afternoon. Late in the second, Watkins picks off a pass in front. Good night, holy moly. Her coach, Emma Stauber, says that she deserves to play D1. Yeah, I agree. 5 goals for Watkins, 3 of them short-handed. Proctor Hermantown shuts out Laverne 8-0. That is going to do it for sports tonight. We'll be right back after the break.
CBS3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health. March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. If you're 50 or older, ask your doctor about screening options.
That's a pretty tight spot.
Watch this.
Your Buick Parks and stuff. That's so you.
Of course you know where we're going. That's so you.
Kind of got a sixth sense.
And a head-up display.
They're here.
You brought all these players in your Buick?
Yep.
So you.
It is.
At the heart of every Buick SUV is you.
Get $2,700 purchase cash on Encore GX models. Plus, current eligible Buick owners get an additional $750 allowance. Visit your Lake Country Buick dealer.
Hi, folks. Joe Namath here, and if you're on Medicare, this is important. You're now entitled to eliminate copays and get dental care, dentures, eyeglasses, prescription coverage, in-home aids, unlimited transportation, and home-delivered meals, all at no additional cost. Plus, your zip code may have coverage with the Give Back benefit that adds money back to your Social Security check every month. Look, with the uncertainty of the virus and vaccines, you need to get everything you're entitled to. Here's the bottom line. Call to get significant benefits at no additional cost and see if your zip code has coverage with the Give Back benefit. Millions of people have trusted the Medicare Coverage Helpline. You can too. Call now. It's free.
Call 1-800-916-5591. That's 1-800-916-5591 now.
Dude! You gonna pick that up? Because there's no poop fairy to do that for you. See? Take these. They're not just poop bags. They're pride bags. Because you're doing the right thing for your neighbors and for the health of the whole watershed. Gotta fly. There's a Chihuahua cranking one out in Leicester right now. There is no poop fairy.
Kevin Bacon here. You know me from 6 degrees of, well, me. But it's time to expand. See, Visible is wireless with no surprise fees, legit unlimited data, powered by Verizon for as little as $25 a month. But when you bring a friend every month, you get every month for $5. So I'm bringing everyone within 12 degrees of me. Bam! 12 months of $5 wireless. Visible, as little as $25 a month or $5 a month when you bring a friend. Powered by Verizon. Wireless that gets better with friends.
Men's wardrobe provided by Mainstream Fashions for Men, celebrating 30 years in business in 2021 with 30% off store-wide, downtown Duluth.
Let's take a look at this new image from Mars. NASA has captured a field of sand dunes inside a frosty crater. This is located in the northern plains of Mars. The dark-toned polygonal patterns are the surface of the main dune field. It's possible they were formed during a seasonal frost. Speaking of seasonal frost, we going to have some of that tonight?
Yeah, it's wintry tonight. Winter weather advisory for the Arrowhead of Minnesota through tomorrow afternoon. 1 to 3 inches of snow possible for the Arrowhead, a trace to an inch or two for the rest of us, but it goes away by Sunday and it warms up again towards 60 on Monday with sunshine, and then we descend into a trough by Wednesday, but perk up again come next Thursday, Friday.
Have a great night.